Welcome back! I'm Kieron Seamons and this is Mr. Miro. He is the most gorgeous little beastie on earth, aren't you? And we're going to do some inky drawings for you today. Some really cool and funky stuff, aren't we? What do you think? So, if you want to do some drawing, if you like a bit of chat and a little bit of fun and a little bit of funky magic, oh, me and Mr. Miro are going to do it for you. So, come and watch us do some drawing. Just here. Well, hello my funky friends. And welcome back. We're going to do some ink. We're going to do some inky drawings. And we are going to use this delicious pen here. It's that delicious pen there. So, we're going to start, but we're going to start off with a bit of brush. Just to feel good. Just to get some good feeling going. That's nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just feel like doing that. And that's going to give me some nice, exciting start up here. As always, I start with no rough sketches. I start with no plan. I just let my first brain and second brain decide what I'm going to do. And off we go. At the 1 minute stage I always check, see my cameras are working. Because if you've been a regular on my channel, you'll know that my camera often dies. Right, so I've been working on a lot of kids' books at the moment. I love doing my kids' books. And these are a set of stories called The Flug, which I did a few years ago, and I've been asked to do some more of them. So, what can you do? It's a great little set of stories. It's kind of about a half bug, half fairy type creature. And I love doing the stories. I love doing them. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm doing some of those. And I got quite a few things going on at the moment. But the thing is, it's always better to have too many books going than not enough. So I've got a couple of book ideas going on. And as always, I love to just... the worst part about drawing is that I'm actually trying to try out some of the digital. I'm trying to work on... people keep asking me about doing digital work. Can I do some iPad work? Can I do some digital work? And it's like, I'm usually a pen and paper type of guy, but what? So I've been trying to move across to that, which I'm not really... I can't really say that I'm actually enjoying it. What am I doing? Alright. And I can't really say I'm enjoying it, but it is kind of like odd that this kind of software kind of draws most of it for you in an odd way. I find it very, very bizarre. Why would anybody want a software that kind of does most of the work for you? I just don't get it. And that's how I feel about... I mean, you know... Don't quote me on that, because, you know, in a year's time I might put up a video saying, this is how I draw an iPad. But, yeah, so I'm kind of cracking into doing some of the kids' books that way. I mean, it does... I can see why people are doing it, but, you know, I'm not quite sure about it yet. I'm still very much into the ink. I love the excitement of ink. I love what it kind of brings to the table. You kind of have this excitement level with ink, you know. And okay, I seem to be drawing some kind of horse. Okay, thank you, brain. Thank you for taking over while I'm talking. See, that's why you need two brains. Right. Right, he's got kind of like a sneaky type of face, this one, isn't he? Yeah, I kind of like the way that ink kind of just is a natural. You never know how that line's going to fall, and you never know how things are going to be. And I kind of love that about the illustration side of things. I love the way that it's just so kind of magical. I say magical because it is. You're kind of putting down a line, and it isn't just a line. It's like this piece of art, you know. And I love that. I love the whole magical side of things, you know. Oh, he looks like a... Maybe I should make him into a zebra, because zebras are kind of a little bit more... Yeah. I kind of think that zebras kind of have a little bit more kind of funkiness to them. Mind you, I do love a horse. I'm kind of... Horses do have that kind of incredible thing about them, don't they? They're just magical beasts. Oh, I'm saying magical a lot today. Or maybe that's because I'm feeling magical. Is that alright? Wonder if I got some... I can kind of make up some ink there. Is that water? Right, let's get some water into that tray. Yeah, so I'm trying out to do the kids' books with the iPad just to kind of see how much. But then I do remember in the days when things like Flash came in and everybody was in a panic, and you know, everybody hated the Flash software, if you remember Flash, and it was a kind of vector-based software, and everybody was in a panic about it. And it actually ended up to be, I actually loved it at one point. I did a lot of the books on Flash because it was like this vector-based software, and it was quite incredible. So sometimes the software kind of, I just kind of feel like a little bit like it's all kind of getting a little bit over the top. We're kind of losing the magic of art. We're losing the magic that is a human touch. I feel that's kind of fading away a little bit, you know. Especially with things like the AI coming in. I mean, sure, if everybody can kind of type in, you know, zebra riding a unicorn while his head's on fire, and then everybody can do an image. Boom, there it is. Whoa. And then it comes back to that question of, why do we need artists? Why? What a stupid question. We need artists because that's the creative force in this world. I feel like the world without art is an insane place. You know? I mean, you know, if I wasn't an artist, wow, man, I don't even want to think about it, you know? It's like, you know, I'd rather be like an animal if I wasn't, you know, if I wasn't an artist. I wasn't like, well, if I'm not an artist, I'd like to be a pilot or a plumber or something. And it just doesn't come in. It's not there. I wouldn't. Simple as that. I wouldn't. Like, this is everything for me. It's like the most incredible part of anybody's day and anybody's life. It's got to be when you do that little bit of something, that little bit of art, you know, that little sketch, that little painting, that little something. That's when all your inner thoughts and feelings and everything just flush and gush out. And that's just beautiful. I love that. You know, it doesn't matter how bad you think you are as an artist. You're an artist. And that is like a God-given gift to be able to put a little bit of paint, a little bit of colour. And I love a lot of amateur art, because a lot of the kind of so-called amateur art, I mean, that amateur art word shouldn't even exist, you know. If you can paint, draw, sketch, that's such an incredible gift from you to the world. I just think it's incredible, you know. And here's my funky zebra. You see, I can't even begin. I can't even begin to explain how excited I get when I'm drawing. I can't even. I mean, I find struggle to say words to say. Today I was drawing and I felt, you know, delicious. That's how I feel. I feel delicious and I feel great and I feel delicious. There you go. There's a new word for you. Made up by me. Copyright of Kieron Seamons, 2024. The word delicious means overly excited and feeling funky and magical. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. And I do find, you know, there's a lot of people out there that do amazing jobs, but artists, I love you all, every single one of you. Doesn't matter how great or small you feel, you are incredible, and you are desperately needed by this strange and vicious world we live in. And also, one really big point, don't think about your artwork, whether it's a painting or a drawing or whatever, in terms of value, as in financial value. Because, you know, I don't do a drawing and think, well, that's worth £50 or £6 million or whatever. I just don't do it. And I don't do it for the reason of, it's not. It's not. It's like, how can I value my experience and my love for this drawing and this moment, this time, this time that I'm drawing this is worth £1 billion. You know, whatever you think about my drawing, whether you like it or you don't like it, you love it and you think I'm a master, or you think it's absolute dog poop. It makes no difference. This is a magical point in my day, and this is just, there's nothing better. You know, I mean, there is a great feeling when I take Mr. Miro out to the park and he's running like a lunatic after some squirrels and stuff like that, and you're kind of laughing your head off at him. That's kind of like magical. But this is different. This is, see, my brain talks to me all the time. It just talks to me. And it's just like now it's saying, all right, well, he's laughing and giggling and he's being a bit sneaky. For who? And I'm thinking, well, you're right, yeah. And it's like, there should be another one. Another one? You mean I got to draw a second zebra? And this is what's going on in my head. This is what these little arguments and discussions and stuff going on in my head. So we're going to have to put in another, you know, my brain's saying it's got to put in another zebra somewhere. Okay. Well, let's get down and be funky and do exactly that. Let's draw another zebra. What are we on? Okay. So we're going to draw another one. Not because I want to, but, you know, my second brain won't shut up unless I do it. So we've got to do it. We've got to listen to that little inner voice sometimes. We have to listen. Sometimes that inner voice is telling you something magical. This whole drawing might be a nice drawing until I add that second zebra. Then it just becomes this gorgeous creation. And that's what we need. Let's give him a nice big long nose. Thank you for all the followers and the comments and all that other delicious stuff. Thank you so much, because you guys make all of this extra gorgeous, you know. You make all this stuff extra magical, extra delicious, extra grillicious, or whatever I said. You make it all extra. He's kind of cute. I like him. You see, I wouldn't have done this without listening. You know, wouldn't have done it. I feel a little bit like the world is thinking too much about money at the moment. You know, it's like, and we're losing that thing of feeling. You know, like doing your art is about feeling. It's not about, well, if I was to do this, I'd probably get a couple of £1,000 for this drawing. You know, why are you thinking like that? Obviously, at the end of the day, I still need to feed Mr. Miro. You know, he's not one of those type of dogs that you kind of just take a battery out the back. Wouldn't that be funky? No, I gotta feed him, so you know. Yeah, I gotta feed him, so yeah. That's the only side when you start thinking about, right, I need to sell some of this stuff. But for me, what would I do with money? As long as I've got ink and I've got paper and I've got a lovely cheese sandwich or something like that, you know, and I'm a happy chappy, you know, or a banana sandwich. I love banana sandwiches as well. And that's what it's about. It's like, you know, living your life with more feeling in it. So many people have got jobs and they hate their job, and he looks kind of funky, doesn't he? Yeah, they go home every night, they hate their job, they hate their life and whatever else. Well, that's just, you know, that's kind of sad, really. You know? I love my drawings. I love them more than anything. I love them. I just love the whole experience of sitting and drawing and creating something, you know. not getting too precious about that line and that person and that whatever, you know. It's like just feeling it. There's something magical about that. And that's why I think you really need to spend more time loving your art. And also, don't let other people tell you your art is right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Stop getting into that. You're not right, you're not wrong. You know, the thing is, if you feel something exciting and driven when you're drawing or you're painting or whatever, you're right. You're 100 million billion squillion% right. That's the way it is, man. When I'm doing my drawings, I am right. When I am drawing this drawing, I'm the best in the whole planet. That's what you have to start thinking. This drawing here is the best drawing of a zebra ever. And if you start thinking like that, you start feeling great. You start feeling, well, wow, yeah, wow. What a beautiful drawing I've just done. And for you people watching, it might just be a silly cartoony zebra. For me, it's a magical experience. And once I get in there and paint all these stripes, it will look so cool. I'm pretty sure about that. That's kind of funky, I think. I like that. Thing is, it's so cold at the moment. The ink takes a very long time to draw, to dry. Sorry. So if I was to paint on it now, it would just go all over the place. That is lovely. Now these two guys have got to have names. You guys are so good at names. Come on. What are you gonna call my zebras? Giraffe. Oh my god. I'm losing it. What kind of cool and funky names would you give to zebra? And that is today's drawing. Let's get my brush back out. Let's frame this baby up. You know I love to draw a nice frame around everything, don't you? I know, it's kind of childish really, the way it's kind of framed. You know, it's like framed to go into like a portrait gallery or something like that, you know. Yeah, right. That's where it should be hanging. My drawing should be in the portrait gallery. This is a portrait of a zebra. That's really quite cool and funky. I'm really pleased with that. Let me just do a little test on this. It's kind of quite dark, but let's that is today's drawing. And maybe at the end, if you wait till the end, I'll put in the final kind of painted up zebra part, because I think if I do it now, it's all going to be too wet and it's all going to explode all over the place. So, as always, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for sharing this magical moment and this magical drawing of these two crazy zebras, which I had great fun doing. I must admit, I had a lot of good fun. Now I've got to go back to work and do some more books. But if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't sent this to all your friends and said, hey, go and look at this crazy drawing, why not? Why not? Send it to them. We have got to get everything more beautiful. So, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. And we shall come back again very, very soon for more drawings. Bye-bye. Well, hello and welcome back. I've been asked to finish off the colour part of yesterday's Zebra Brothers. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm just going to throw a bit of colour on and bring them to life. That's what today's mission is. So, if you want to see me finish off the Zebra Brothers from yesterday's drawing, let's go to today. Well, hello, beautiful people. We are back with a small request. Somebody wants me to finish off my Zebra Brothers. They want me to put a bit of colour in there and bring it to life. And I think that's a beautiful idea. So, we shall get some paints. Simple paints. We're just keeping it simple. These are only fun sketches. Spray on some water, just to get it all bursting to life. I'm going to get a brush. I'm going to start putting in some feelings around the back there. Oh, that's got a bit of a grey in it. Why is that? I'm going to get a little bit of colour going in here. I want to try and build up a nice contrast in the back. And the best way to do that, I always feel, is to think about what your character is. And in this case, he's a zebra, of course. But at the same time, I'm thinking about his colours. And I'm thinking I would love to get a nice kind of blue feeling going on. So to get that, I want to have a little bit of a kind of a pinky background to it. And the best way to do that is to start painting up some of the background and get a nice feeling for it. Sometimes it just kind of paints a kind of an atmosphere almost. I find that sometimes I need to build up an atmosphere for the character, and a lot of times the best way of doing that is to build up some kind of color idea. And I'm mixing up a little bit of pinks and oranges here just to kind of give this nice kind of blotchy kind of background. Again, I love when watercolors is a little bit more kind of blotchy and not so pretty, smoothed out and everything. I kind of get a little bit, you know, well, it becomes a little bit kind of like oh, that was Mr. Miro making his voice heard. He's got a squeaky octopus at the moment and he's squeaking it constantly. In fact, the first time he squeaked it, he didn't actually know it had a squeaker. Well, to be honest, I didn't know it had a squeaker in it either. I just bought this big octopus because he loves things that have got long legs, as in with his squirrels and stuff like that. They've got like a long bushy tail and it's kind of like the same as a leg. and it squeaked and he jumped back. It was like, almost had a heart attack, the poor dog. So we are kind of building up a little bit of an atmosphere. I kind of imagine this kind of, you know, like some kind of African morning, you know. It's like this lovely orangey glow to it. And again, I'm just mixing up some reds and oranges there just to kind of get a little bit of a glowing background type of feeling to it. And I'm thinking the zebra, you know, zebra's kind of come into this thing of black and white, and I'm thinking more about blues. I want to try and build up some kind of nice blue for him. I think that would be much more attractive. And as you see, my painting style is a very kind of not such a technical way. It's kind of I do it more with kind of the feeling around my characters, and my characters are quite kind of rough in their drawing. The line work is very rough, and that's how I like to keep it with the paint. I kind of feel like the rougher the paint is, the better it kind of works together with the picture. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mix in lots of different things as well. I do mix in some inks to my paint, and I find that the inks bring in a little bit more of a vibrant color to it, especially on the top where the kind of colors are quite important. And I do find that bringing in some of that vibrant inks on top of your watercolor kind of really lifts the colors a lot more, you know. It's nice to put down a watercolor base, but sometimes bringing in some inks on top really kind of makes the colors jump. It's getting a little bit too wet up the top there. Don't want that to run into my drawing, so I'll just blot it out. Lovely. Now it doesn't mean that you need to add ink to your paintings. Stick with your watercolors if you wish. For me, I just find that sometimes it just adds a little bit of vibrancy to it. That is looking absolutely gorgeous. Put a little bit more red down there by my name. Just to make my name stand out more. To make my name glow. Now that is looking really nice. I'm going to put a little bit more under the face, because I want that to really lift. That's looking so nice. I'm really pleased with that. And what it does is it kind of gives me that atmosphere around the character. People have different ways of painting. People have, you know, some people will start with the main character. They'll start with the eyes and stuff. But sometimes I take it on whatever the drawing is. Sometimes I feel like with this, I really want that feeling of that kind of African morning. And that's really in my mind. And this is kind of just me going in and putting in some contrast to that lovely red. Is putting in some grey there. Now I want that to be like the background of like the vibrancy back to the kind of the dull color. And the dull color is things like his hoof. And while I'm doing that, that gives me a little bit of time then for that to settle before I put the big blue colors in there for the zebra. And it gives me a little bit more time to kind of for that to settle into the paper. I wouldn't say dry because it's going to take a long time for it to dry, but you know, I do find in the kind of like waiting for things to dry, it's like, that's just not me. It's like, I really can't wait. You know, I'm too impatient. Waiting for things like that, that's just too difficult for me. You know? I know as an artist you need to be patient and you need to, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I simply cannot do it. I'm too impatient. If I draw it, I want to paint it. And when I paint it, I want to paint all of it. You know, it's like very childish probably. Yeah, I know. But that's cool. You know, it's my painting. I can do what I want. That's lovely. Now again here when I do the zebra color, what I will be doing is I will be doing a similar type of thing with the background. I will be adding my paints as a base to it, and then I will be adding on top of that a little bit of a blue to bring in that vibrancy to it. I need to find a yellow. Is that yellow? Hello, ink. Are you yellow? You are indeed ink. This is an acrylic ink, so as always with acrylic ink, I always feel that they smell a bit. Whew. Smells like grandmother's pants or something, you know. It's like, and again, you'll find that there is a mix here of watercolor inks, acrylic inks, and again, I just take it as when I see something and what I feel. It's like, you know, I feel like certain inks work better for certain things. I just can't get over that enough. It's just like, I mean, you know, it's like there's certain elements of my drawing that I wanted to shine, I wanted to glow, I wanted to be out there and visible straight away, you know. In fact, I've got a little bit of grey under the eyes that I think might help. And I'm just going to go back to that grey. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a lovely undercolor for that. And the same for this chappie. Lovely. Soften that down. Lovely. That's looking nice. So, now comes the fun part. I'm getting in here with some blues and some very light blues. Very difficult to see under that light. That's quite nice. Now I'm kind of giving this like almost like a turquoise type color. Turquoise. And I'm feeling like that gives it like a nice earthy kind of color. You know, it kind of gives it that kind of... I kind of feel like it's really like his natural color. I think that's quite beautiful. Oh yes. Oh yes. That is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I'm getting very blotchy with my paints because I feel it kind of gives it a little bit more of a kind of a texture to it, you know. And I do love that. I love the fact that it kind of fills the character with a little bit more life to it. And I'm working backwards on this. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm working from the nose. Because the nose I want to be a dark color. So I'm kind of like working backwards with this. So that I get all the stripes working the way I want it. If I work this way up and I get to the part the nose will be white or something, and I don't, you know, that'll just give me troubles. Lovely. Look at that color. That's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And the fact of this being a kind of a more of a cartoony type drawing, it adds to it a lot, the fact that he's a kind of like a turquoise striped. It adds to his character so much. You know, if I was just to do a regular old black and white zebra, nah, I don't think I would like that. I would kind of just give him that feeling that he's just like a regular guy. And I want this to mean he's kind of like a bit of a funky style, you know. It's like, hey guys, look at me, check this out, you know. And I feel that's quite beautiful about his character. Brings that character out more. Gives that expression more, kind of like, hey, you know, look at me. I'm cool and gorgeous. Look at me, girls, you know. And I love that. I love that about this. Adds so much more to who he is. And again, it comes forward more with the expression. I mean, the fact that now you've got this vibrant red sky behind him, like first thing in the morning, he's still looking like, hey, I'm the most handsome zebra on the planet. I think that's just beautiful. So choose your colors very wisely, you know. I find like the color is for your painting is very, 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 very important. And this color here just is saying everything I want. That's looking lovely. It's really coming across so gorgeous. I love the textures in there. Now, while I'm doing this texture here, I'm thinking about the white. Now, the white is going to be a little bit of a problem because I don't really want him to be white, but I also don't really want him to be yellow. So, you know, I'm trying to think of maybe like a gentle pink, but I've already done red on the background. What are we going to do there? You know? Now there's a little bit of a mustard color on this palette. And I'm just trying to think if maybe I was to kind of blotch in some very gentle very gentle textures on there for the white, and I could possibly do it onto a very gentle texture on there. Might bring that skin forward, which I'm trying to kind of match up with what I'm doing here on the stripes, you know. Now, I don't really paint up that many of my drawings on video, for the very simple reason that in most cases, am I still running? Yes. For most cases, because basically it takes too long, and basically people get bored, you know. It's like doing a drawing that's 20 minutes long. I think for the people these days, 20 minutes is like 10 zillion years, you know. So trying to do a painting, you know, do a drawing and then doing a painting, it's so long. People, I don't feel, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people aren't patient enough to sit through a video these days of somebody doing an hour painting and drawing, you know, a drawing and then with all the painting on the back end of it. I'm not sure. My intention was to draw them and paint them, but I kind of feel like even with a 20-minute drawing, sometimes people it's difficult to hold their attention for that amount of time, you know. And I've had comments about I should edit more, I should have a camera over my shoulder, and I should have a camera in front, and I should cut to a long shot. And what do you think? Do you think I should? Well, for me, I kind of feel like, well, if you come here to watch me draw, I'm drawing, you know? You see my pretty face, you see the gorgeous painting and drawing. What more do you want? But I don't know. You guys tell me what you want, you know? I mean, on a lot of my drawing videos, I don't really get that many kind of views. So, you know, for me to make the videos even longer would probably mean I get even less views. I probably get like 20 or 30 views on a drawing video at the moment, and that's painful, you know. It's like you're doing all these drawings and you don't get many views. It's quite heartbreaking, really, you know. I'm just going to try a little bit of, just to add some of the vibrancy there, and then you'll see the kind of the ink is kind of pushing away there. But I do find that it does kind of help. It does kind of help bring up the excitement in the color. Oh, that's kind of nice. Let's just put a little bit up there on his face. I'm looking beautiful. Hey, Mr. Zebra, you're looking beautiful today. He already knows that. He knows he's beautiful. Right, let's just swap a different brush over, because I'm gonna try to get back into that. Now this other guy, he's just kind of like a regular zebra, you know. So I'm gonna try to just add a little bit more dark to the gray, just to kind of give him more of a regular. He's kind of like a regular guy, you know. It's like, hey man, you're all colorful and I'm not. Now I'm just gonna add a tiny touch more. Oh, yeah. Too much. Soften it down. Soften it down. Stay calm. Stay calm. Right. Lovely. That's come up really nice. I love that kind of dark grey that's coming through there. I'm just going to add another little drop of darkness into that. And the idea in this drawing is that he is cool and fashionable and funky and wild and gorgeous, and the other zebras are kind of like just checking him out, like, whoa man, look at you. I mean, this could be a young lady. I mean, I don't know, you tell me the story. You guys are the good ones at stories. You tell me what you think. Or is this just like a jealous guy going, hey man, you're cool and funky. How did you get like that? It's nice, isn't it? The contrast between the zebras. Very pleased with that. Okay, so I kind of messed up a little bit there. So I'm going to try and just give him an extra stripe. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. And I've just done it on the second zebra. I was talking too much. Don't draw and talk. Sometimes it's quite difficult to keep talking while you're drawing, you know. I don't know if any of you people have ever done it, you know, but it's quite a difficult thing. It's kind of like driving and eating a cheese sandwich at the same time. Right, so I haven't drawn the stripes on the legs for some strange reason, so I'm just going to add them with paint, which is beautiful anyway. That is so gorgeous. I love that. So we're looking for that color now. We're looking for that soft texture on here, and I've got this like gentle mustard color here, and I'm thinking I might just try to see if I can put a little bit of texture on there. Just to kind of give it a little, so that it's not a blank white, you know. just to kind of give it a little bit of a lift, you know. Just I don't want it to just to be a blank, flat, boring kind of white. I want to kind of give him a little bit of a texture, so that it kind of matches up a little bit with what I've done with the blue. Now, I can't remember the name of the person. Terribly sorry. I'm terrible with names. The person that asked me to do this. But thank you very much for your comment. Thank you very much for the request. Thank you very much for kicking me up the butt to come and paint this up, because I'm really enjoying it. I'm really having a lot of fun doing this. And he is definitely a handsome chap. Lovely. So, thank you for that request. Thank you for comments. You know, I love comments. I love hearing what you're thinking. And this was a comment from someone who asked me to paint up the Zebra Brothers from yesterday. And you know what? I had such a fantastic time doing it. So thank you very much for the request. Thank you very much for the feedback. And I'd love to hear what you think about the Zebra Brothers in colour. What do you think? What do you feel? What is the story behind them? And come back again soon. Come back and watch some more drawings. I do this every day. Every day there's something out there for you to look at. So come back and check out what's happening. Right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time. Don't forget to subscribe wherever it is, down there, on there, wherever. Subscribe and come and see me every day. If not, go and check out some of the other videos. There's cool stuff around. All right. See you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.